What's your take on this year's draft? You talk to different experts and they say it's like a top 12 picks and then there's a little bit of a drop off. Some say there's 14, 15 guys that are in that kind of range and then there's a little bit of a drop off. Like, where do you feel about you guys at 13 of what
We're in a,
kind of player you might be?
yeah, I think we're in a good spot. There's as you mentioned, I think there's a couple at the very top of the draft, and then there's a very good, strong middle section of this first round. And I think we're firmly in it. I like this draft. It's interesting. I think players kind of come from all over. If you look just at the sort of under 18 age group in Halinka, or maybe even the April U18 World Championships, not everyone was there. So, when you look at the talent level, at times when you leave a tournament, you might wonder, all right, how's this going to shake out? And then you're like, okay, look at the guys that playing in the NCAA. Look at the guys that were still in the CHL playoffs. I think it's a strong draft, and it's amazing how many of these guys are now starting to play in men's leagues over in Europe. It's incredible because the skill level's there, and these guys can handle it. So they're getting opportunities sooner.
What's your feel on, being able to, would you guys be interested in potentially moving up? Is there like a certain few players in that range where, like, is this a draft where you're more likely to do that? Or is it more likely
We'd love to. Every year we identify sort of the lines in the first round of, where you would move up, where do you stand still, where maybe you trade back. But we'd love to. I think the problem is going to be is the teams that are in those spots are very happy with their choices that they have. Billy's very active. If we encourage him to make a call on a trade up, he's never afraid to do it. It's actually it's really refreshing. Like he'll pick up the phone and get turned down and no problem, pick it up again and call. So from that standpoint, he's very active. He'll listen to us. We'll identify it. I think the chance to move up there is going to be difficult. You have teams that have eyes on players that they like. And as you mentioned, we're 13. So if that range is 12 to 14, most teams are liking the players in their grouping.
So in that respect, is it maybe more likely you could potentially move back if you have players maybe fall that you in that same pot of players that you like?
Yeah, that's the trick of, as the draft starts to unfold, there's usually a line of, where you want to stand still and get a player from. And if that, for some reason the players that we're sort of eyeballing start to go sooner than we expected, then yeah, we have to make a decision on the floor there and and see if we can find a partner. It's never as easy as it sounds, right? Like we can fantasize about trades, but if you don't have a partner, nothing's happening.
Yeah, that's fair.